We're on a quarter sheet of our cartridge paper. We've put a fine border just inside the edge. We're going to put a back wall. So let's bring our back wall over here. So you've got about that much space over there. And then on the bottom, we'll put it right about here. So this will be our back wall. So we've got that. Our vertical is going to be our measuring line. Let's divide this from our ceiling to our floor. That's ceiling to floor. Let's divide that into 8. So divide it in half. And you can check. You can take your pen and your finger and see if that's the same. Okay, that's pretty good. And then after you get it divided in half, divide it into quarters. We're doing 8 feet this time. So bottom is always 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now on your grid, you'll notice that our eye level is at 5 feet, and we're going to do that here as well. On the edge of your paper, mark off your 8 increments, because we need to flip them and turn them the other way. So and you're going to need more, so keep going. This is 0 in the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's our complete back wall on all of our grids today. And our sofa is going to sit right in the middle of the back wall. So we have to go up from 6 to find our vanishing point here. And we'll put our vanishing point right there on the eye level. This is our eye level. This is our VP, our vanishing point, right up from 6. Now remember, to bring anything forward, we use the vanishing point. So we've got to bring these walls forward. So we're using our vanishing point. That's what you saw on your grid. Our sofa is sitting, as you know, in the middle of that space, and it's 7 feet wide. So we're going to go back 3.5 boxes this way. 1, 2, 3.5. So put a mark between 10 and 9. And it's 3 boxes this way. 1, 2, 3.5. So between 2 and 3, put another dot. We're going to do what we've done previously in our sketches. We're going to map this on the back wall as an elevation and then bring it forward. We're going to use standard furniture measurements. Now we need verticals. Remember how important they are. We can't go too long without them. So we'll put a vertical up where we know 7 feet is. We straddled 3.5 feet on one side of 6 and 3.5 feet on the other side of 6. And we don't know how big the verticals are going to be, but we put them up anyway. But if we use standard furniture measurements, 3 feet is good. So let's bring 3 feet over. We all know now that seat heights, we'll use 1.5 feet. That's kind of a good moderate size for a seat height, 1.5 feet. So you see on your grid, you don't have to fit things exactly where the squares are. You can go in between, use in between sizes. Now, as you know, when we do our quick sketches, we don't have anything to help us with the depth. Not like when we're using the grid, but we can eyeball it. Let's project our corners of our seat forward. because we know they project. So we've got this corner, this corner, this one, and this one. Let's project them forward. And you can do phantom lines. And you can also turn your page, which is helpful, I think. Get that going. Here's our seat height. So we want to bring that forward. And this seat height, we want to bring that forward. Now we have a better idea. Once we're looking at that, we can decide, okay, this looks about right for the seat depth. Let's try that. And don't worry, if you choose a strange one, don't worry about it. The only way to know is to try something. You have to dive right in and try something. Now, our verticals remain straight because they're the same distance from us throughout their length. We'll only use the vanishing point when we need to for things that are going away. Now see, this met, so I have a vertical crossing a perspective line. So when it happens, you know to go the other way. So now I've got my seat. And it's not exactly lining up, but I can tickle it into. It's the only time you tickle is when you need to make something make sense there. But if we didn't have our verticals up, we couldn't have made sense of that. Got a whole box now, the top of the seat, the front of the seat. We don't see either side of the seat. Now, look at our reference. It's completely different. We're seeing a side, but that's because it's in 2-point perspective. You see? There's a side there. This is going to need some enhancing. What we have to do is draw a line here and a line here. And this is a dip and dive. This is a lovely curve. See this lovely curve here? It's echoed on the other side, and we have to put that in. Draw that into your picture because we can't see it. But see that dip and dive back there, that lovely, elegant dip. Also there, we can see a little inside and a little on the bottom. And we can see some top. This is a little storage space underneath. It's a little interesting, but it has a lot of curves and little tiny feet. It has little tiny feet. And our cushion. Now our cushion has quite a lot of roundness. See, we can echo that shape. But this is important because that's going to be in perspective, so we have to see that. See, this line is this line. This line is that line. Now what we're missing is some thickness at the top. This line, we've got that one, but we don't have the inside line. See this line, we have that one. That's at the back. We don't have that inside line. We've got to choose a depth for that, and it's very shallow, but go all the way across. Until it touches the perspective line, and then you know what to do, right? You put a vertical. And then you see, you need your vanishing point to bring it forward. So now we've got a little thickness on the back.
What are the lines from the vertical?
Use your vanishing point for this point at the back. And when you do your sketch for the sofa that you choose, you'll be doing this same sort of thing, trying to translate it from this image to that image, to how we're seeing it. Because a lot of them are photographed as elevations, so you don't see any depth at all. So you're going to have to try and figure out how to get it, how to give it some depth. Let's figure out the arm. Let's say we're going to take about this much for the height of the arm. See on the back here, that's our back. So we're going to choose halfway, and we're going to bring that forward. Bring this up. So we got another perspective line. We need a vertical. We need a cylinder, don't we? Because if you think about it, we could put a cylinder here. And that would fit. It would fit into our chair. So we're going to choose where we want the cylinder to come in. We should put a diagonal on first. And you echo the same diagonal at the back. We have to go below the back though. So I'm doing a diagonal, and I'm going to take it below the seat. Remember, this is our seat height. I'm taking it below because this goes below. So we can just guess how much below we want to go. And use your vanishing point. So you used it for the top of the back, the seat of the chair here, the arm, and there. Now this goes below, so I want it to come up and over. But the best way to do it would be to put it in a box. Let's pick a dot here, use our vanishing point, and that's where it will be at the back. So if this is the lowest point of our chair, we bring that back. If you draw a straight line between here and here and bring that back with your vanishing point, and then draw a straight line here, it will give you where that curve is. So there's a box, and then this little dip and dive, you know where it should be over here because you've got this. So if we draw a straight line down and bring it across and draw it down, we'll have the place for the dip and dive. What that looks like, if we have our chair arm and we used our vanishing point to go back like that, and we used our vanishing point to go back like that, then we chose a spot here, used our vanishing point, but we've got this dip and dive. So we've got to choose a point here, make another box, join that up, and then it's easy. Then all we have to do is go like this and like this and like this and like that, and we've got our dip and dive. Now all we have to do is put in the bottom, because we have those little teeny legs, teeny tiny little legs. We haven't rounded anything out yet either, which will be fun. I'll put my little legs. I can't help but make them a little fatter. They seem too thin to hold this whole big sofa. And then we just have to round our corners. Everything on this is rounded. And we have to put our cushion, so we just put our cushion a little bit in, I think a little bit in, and then choose a place for it to go back, use our vanishing point, and then we start to curve it. Now you can curve by eye since it's a sketch, or if you like you can choose the deepest part and bring it across and put that up. It doesn't really help, I don't think. You could bring in the sign pen to get a better look at what we've got. And although we don't normally use the sign pen on the inside lines, maybe today we will, so we can make sense of this. There's our little legs. And this. But you see, even the things that you don't think could possibly be affected by the vanishing point, they really are. All of it is. This at the back, everything at the front. Now we've just got one last thing to do, and that's to put that box in, that little storage space. So mine is going to fit right about here, I think, and you're just eyeballing it. This is just a sketch, so you're just eyeballing it. And this will be the way you'll figure this out when you choose your own sofa and you do your own little sketch. So there it is. That's a little thing, the little box. We've got the cushion in. Okay, and then we've got the little peephole. I don't know what the purpose of that is. It's a little peephole in the back. It's kind of intriguing. If I put her eye in, see, it just shows that she's this far away from the sofa. But it looks reasonable at that distance, doesn't it? That she would fit with our sofa. And then she's even closer to us. So she's not wrong. Either figure is usable. This one just looks closer to us, and this one looks further away. Now this fella, he's 6 feet, so I'd have to size him. So if I want to put him there, for example, I would have to take 6 feet along the wall and see where he could stand for himself to be 6 feet. And he would have to stand here. If I drew a line down from here, he's 6 feet. Come on. See? He's 6 feet. So he looks reasonable standing beside our sofa, doesn't he? I think he likes it. If you want to put a plant in or a planter, something like that, you remember your ellipses. Remember with plants, though, that they grow forward. They don't just go up. They grow forward. So you have to fold some forward. Because they're another thing that really make a place look more lived in and homey. Some of these have.
Wait, do we have to have the plant?
Might as well. Might as well go for broke. You see, you don't stop where the wall is because there's space for this here.
Go right over the
Oh yeah, just go right over it. Now, to make a little floor plan of this, you could set it up here. And see, we would show the thickness of the back. We'd show the seat. We can't show the dip and dive, but we can show the cushion. Just angle the cushion in a little bit so that it looks like it's moving down. It's going down. we can't really show that this is dipping. That's the thing about floor plans. There's a lot there you can't show. That's why we need the wow factor of the perspective. But that would do for a little floor plan, and put a little border around it. And then put your reference up, and that would do for that. Just fit your floor plan in right around your drawing.